Okay, so we quickly touched on our history earlier on. I'm just going to go through that a little bit now, and I'm going to just show you a little bit extra that we can actually do here. So one thing when we're working with Photoshop I also want to show you is we never work directly on the image. I'm going to show you what we do. If you hit Ctrl J, it brings a duplicate layer up of the image we're working on, and we can do all the stuff we want to do on this duplicate layer. Let me just delete that, and if we go to background, and let's say I'm going to change the saturation, and the shortcut for that is Ctrl U, and we're going to boost the saturation through the roof. We're going to do that, and hey, that looks cool. It's a bit funky, it's really bright, but you know what, I'm going to try something else. Ctrl U, let me see, let's try a black and white version. Okay, black and white version. But now I don't like that. Perhaps I don't like this way of working, this way it is. But to do anything about this now, you see, if we look, we just have my background. The only thing I can do is actually go into my history and start deleting some of the things I just did. So we deleted the black and white, we're back to our saturation, but it's a little bit crazy still. Well, what can we do? All we can do is delete that entire layer there. So this brings us back to where we started off. What I'm going to do now, again, Ctrl J, it brings up that extra layer there, and that's the layer we're going to work on. Never work on the original image, let's work on a copy that is over the top, and I'll show you what I mean. We can actually then go Ctrl U, we can go saturate, and let's boost it through the roof, let's go nuts. It's going to make it really bright, Ctrl U, and it looks pretty crazy, it's really bright, and you know what, if you don't like it, all you have to do is do that to get rid of the layer. And the other good thing with the layers is you can also reduce the opacity. So if you've done an effect and you're not sure if it's too much, and it might have been better if you just had half the effect, you can actually play with the opacity and reduce it down. So as we see there, just 50% might have been enough. You didn't need to do it the whole way. So that's our layers, that's how I play with those. And as you can see, while I've been doing all this, our history states have been changing. We can see all the different versions, all the different things we've actually been doing. So let's say that what we have here now we like this version of it. So we're actually going to create a snapshot. I clicked on the little camera icon and up came snapshot 1, and we can double click on there and we can go color boost. We can type in a name for that state. So that's cool, we like that, that's color boost. But let's try that black and white again. So let's go Control U, and let's reduce saturation. Let's see if this makes a good black and white. Do that. Let's play with it. It doesn't really matter what happens at this point. But so that's a little bit muddy, but hey, maybe it works. So again, if we want to, we can actually hit the camera and we bring up another snapshot. So what we can do, change that. So that's sort of like a low contrast, we can call that one. And you can delete these at any time. If you don't like the snapshot that you've done, you can actually just drag it in and delete it. But what we can do, we can actually now go back to the state we liked. We've done all the other stuff, we've done our low contrast, we don't like it, but we can go back to the color boost and we can continue working from where we were there. So those are the things you can do with the history and the snapshot, and that really helps. It's good to keep an eye on that kind of stuff as you're working, because you may do a really good edit and then you think, oh, let's try a few other things, and when you're trying the other things you make a mess of it, and it's really good if you can then go back into the history and you can finish off with that. And not only that, you can then save that state, and if you had any other snapshots you can save them as other versions of it as well. So there you go, that's the history and the snapshot.